Our question today has something to do with one of my favorite topics, Henry Cavill as Superman.
Hey, John, this is Cannon Snick calling from Wisconsin. I'm just wondering, why would they announce Henry Cavill as Superman, coming back as Superman, and then all of a sudden rechange everything? You know, if they were going to do the reboot route. Just wondering, let me know. Thanks. Bye.
All right, Ken, thanks a lot for sending that in. And, you know, look, we're going to be talking more about the whole fallout, what's going on at DC right now, the changes that may be coming, the changes that may not be coming. We're going to be talking more about that a little bit later. But, you know, in the last 24 hours, since we talked about this story of, you know, the reports coming out that Wonder Woman 3 is canned and, you know, that they're looking at maybe rebooting the entire DC thing, a lot of questions come in. It's like, well, wait a minute. As Cannon just mentioned, why would they announce that Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman, and then it feels like in the next breath, announce that that's dead and gone? And also what I see a lot of on social media is, well, man, the man, and somebody brought it up on the show yesterday, the man left Witcher for this, and now this thing's gone, and all that kind of stuff. All right, I feel like there's a few things that need to be clarified. The first thing we need to clarify is this. Why would they announce Henry Cavill is back as Superman? Pause right there. They never did announce Henry Cavill was back as Superman. Henry Cavill got on social media. My boy Blue. Henry Cavill got on social media and said, I'm back as Superman. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson went on social media, on Jimmy Fallon, everywhere he could, and announced that Henry Cavill is back as Superman. But one group that never said Henry Cavill was back as Superman is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers never said he was back. And by the way, I mean, it's semantics, but if you really look at what Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill said, it very well could be that they were just saying that he was back for Black Adam.
That's how I took it.
Because he was back for Black
Yeah.
Adam. Just for a moment, but he was back for Black Adam. So, number one, they never did announce that he was back. Number two, let's touch on the Switcher thing. Nowhere, anywhere, ever at any time did Henry Cavill ever say that the reason he left The Witcher was to do Superman. We talk about this all the time. Actors can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 TV shows and movies a year, right? Never once did Henry Cavill ever say that the reason behind him leaving The Witcher was because he was going to go now and do Superman, as if actors can't do two different things at the same time. They do all the time. So let's just put that away.
Mustache be damned.
Yeah, mustache be damned. Oh, Paramount. So on top of all that, all right, let's now forward to, well, why make all these announcements? Why is all this stuff being said and all of a sudden, but listen, all these things were being done before the new heads of DC came into control. James Gunn and Peter Safran had nothing to do with what happened with Black Adam, with what happened with Aquaman, what happened with any of that stuff until they came in, and they were asked to do a job. Look at the state of DC right now, and what is your plan to get us to our full potential? Because whether you're a big DC fan or not, we all can agree that the DC films have not lived up to their potential. In terms of box office success, in terms of fan acceptance, in terms of critic reaction, they have not lived up to the potential. They just haven't. The one that's come the two that's probably have come closest has been Aquaman and Wonder Woman, the first Aquaman and the first Wonder Woman. Those are the ones that got closest. But as a whole, I think everybody can agree the DCU is not living up to potential. Not when you're looking at Marvel, who does not have superior characters, who doesn't have a superior history, and you look at where they're setting their bar, way bigger box office success, way better audience acceptance, way better critic reaction, on every level, superior. That is your potential, and better. That's your potential as DC. DC has not been living up to potential. So they come in and say, okay, we got to evaluate this thing. Now we're going to make changes. And you can't go, well, before they did that, it doesn't matter what was done before. The new guys, and again, look, I'm not going to rile on that too much because we're going to talk about this a little bit more later. But I mean, this is a situation, you have to take the context of the situation into place. Warner Brothers never said Henry Cavill was back. And even if he was, if they have canceled any potential Superman 2, which by the way, we don't know that they have canceled. Number one, we don't know that there were actually plans for Man of Steel 2. Number two, if there were, we don't actually know that James Gunn has canceled those plans. We are all operating and theorizing and speculating, which is totally fair, on very little actual information right now. On very little actual, I mentioned this on the open mic show yesterday. It's like, you guys all got to remember that we will evolve our speculation and our opinions as we get more information and real factual information. But right now, while we're speculating, which is fair, we have to keep in mind that we are basing it on very little actual information. And within that actual information, we don't know for a fact that there was a Man of Steel 2 plan. And if there was, we don't know for a fact that that plan has been canceled. We don't know for a fact that Warner Brothers fully intended to bring Henry Cavill back in, although I believe they did. But if that is true, we don't know that James Gunn is not planning on using. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. There's just so many unanswered questions floating up in the air right now. We all just got to look at it, form some opinions, have some speculation, but do it all with the fact in mind that we don't have a lot of actual information yet. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM, while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, it's even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, I'm sure you've seen the question being brought up about, I mean, how dare they fire him off Superman after he left Witcher for them?
Article after article after article saying, what's going to happen with Henry? You know, everyone was right. Everyone's honest here. Superman's back with Henry Cavill in the role. Go see Black Adam. There, everyone's honest. But James Gunn said the most, diplomatic thing of just moving forward, we are doing things that are in best service to the stories that you love. That's also a very mud is mud answer, right? He said absolutely nothing there.
Which he shouldn't say anything much
exactly.
Right now.
Right? They're still figuring out everything. None of us are in the room where this is happening. None of us know what's occurring. And every news outlet right now wants to be Aaron Burr. They all want to be in that room, and they're just speculating. And that's all this is right now. So I think all of us can just, whoosah, we can take a moment, and everything should be fine. I feel like Henry Cavill still could potentially pop back. He took to social and talked about it. I think if they continue having a relationship with Dwayne Johnson, perhaps they think about keeping Henry in there since he's been so vocal about what a misstep it's been and everything. But I think right now we all can just, relax. It's the holiday season. Believe in magic. Believe. It's okay.
Rob, you're hearing all this, a lot of speaks about what is Henry doing, what is Henry not doing, all that kind of stuff. What's your take on it?
Well, first of all, James Gunn they haven't even presented to David Zaslav yet.
Right.
What they're going to do. That's going to be next week. I would say take a wait and see approach. We act like we're observing market forces on a stock market ticker tape or something, but we're not. We don't know anything about anything. And we should all know by now that until it's announced in a trade from a studio itself, none of this, it's all speculation. Exactly. None of it's real. I mean, when you talk about Patty Jenkins doing a Rogue Squadron movie, there was a huge announcement for that.
Yeah, big official announcement
from
made.
Disney.
Yeah.
You take that to the bank until you find out that account's empty. But other than that, I mean, until somebody says something official, we should know as fans and pundits to hold back until we find out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes get people. I had one person write a comment yesterday. What's with all the caveats, John? Why do you always got to give these caveats? We give caveats because it's what you need to do. We can say, like last night when I was doing open mic, I said, now, if they are doing a big full reboot, and again, we don't know that 100% they are, it's like we give those caveats because it's important for us to keep everything in context. And in context right now, we don't know that there was officially going to be a Superman 2. And if there was, we don't know that that's been canceled. We don't know that Henry Cavill figured into the big plans moving forward. And if he was, we don't know that he's not now. I mean, we can speculate. We can form some theories. There's a little bit of information there that we can base it on. But we got to do all that while keeping in mind there still is a lot to find out and a lot to know. And so, but I will say this. At the end of the day, as much as I love Henry Cavill, and nobody out there loves Henry Cavill as much as Superman than I do, other than maybe Mama Cavill. That might be it. The universe has to come first. And if the plan for a better DC universe that gets the DC films closer to that potential means having to start fresh, and that means doing it without Henry, don't worry about Henry. My boy's going to be just fine. He's going to have a killer career ahead of him no matter what. But then you move on. Anyway, guys, question is for you. How would you respond to this question? Like, where do you think ultimately is going to happen with Henry here? Do you think he's in it? Do you think he's not? Do you think you got to have him in it no matter what? Do you think, hey, man, listen, if it's for the betterment of the story to move on, then maybe you move on. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.